Hey guys, it's your girl Lola Loves You, and today we'll be talking about the wonderful world of wigs and weaves of Whitney Houston. What makes a diva? Hair makes a diva. We will be analyzing Whitney Houston hair throughout her entire career. Well, Whitney Houston was a young girl with long, luxurious hair. Her hair was nice, fine, soft, cotton-like, and silky. Her plaits came past her shoulders, but her hair, once it was like plaited or in a ponytail, it seemed thin. But once she took it out and like blow dried it, it was really full. As a little girl, her mother would put pigtails in her hair, and her hair was rather long. I guess probably by the age of once she started, I want to say junior high, her mother allowed her to start cutting on her hair. When she graduated from elementary school, I think was the sixth grade, or was that middle school? Well, her cap and gown picture, she has a wrap. It's like a full fluffy blowed out wrap, and it's kind of puffy because her hair fizzes up quickly from heat and humidity, and you can tell it's kind of cut and it's styled and it's rather nice. During the early years of high school, at the age of 14, Whitney Houston started cutting on her hair. She started wearing like mushroom, nice, cute crop cuts. They were very nice. And then her hair would grow back and she would wear braids. And her hair would grow back very, very fast back then. So she started wearing braids, and once she became a model, she started cutting her hair even shorter, and I guess it gave her a more edgy look. And in the modeling world, they love a black beautiful model with short hair. If you have a beautiful face, they want your hair very short. At this time, her recording dreams started to become reality. After signing with Hairstyle Records and after promotion was starting to be handled, they wanted Whitney with a different look. And the look was for her to have the hairstyle of, back then, Miss America Vanessa Williams. But Whitney Houston's natural hair was very short. At the time, Whitney Houston was cutting her hair very short. Whitney Houston was the type of person, she did not like long hair at all. So the record label decided to send Whitney to Diana Ross Weave Salon, where the people that do Diana Ross weave back and then, they wanted them to do Whitney Houston's weave. So as Whitney goes there for a consultation, two stylists placed her in a chair and started talking over Whitney like she wasn't even there. They was commenting on her edges. Whitney Houston had very thin edges, saying, "Oh, she barely has any edges. Where's her edges? She don't even got no hair. How are we going to do her hair?" And they really hurt her feelings. During the consultation, Robin decided to talk to the owner of the salon, who was Carol Porter at the time. And she started talking to Carol Porter, and Carol Porter was really into hair care, saying how to protect someone's hair, braiding, weaving it, braiding it up, and then letting it grow while the weave is in, and maintaining your hair. So Robin told Whitney once they got in the car about Carol, but Whitney was crying about the other stylists talking about her hair. Due to Whitney Houston's hair being so short, a weave was an option at the moment. Her hair was very short and fine, so she couldn't get any type of braid or anything to attach to her hair, so it had to grow out a little. So during early promotions, Whitney Houston wore a lot of synthetic wigs and a lot of short, crop wigs that try to pass off as her hair. And then sometimes she would try to style them by putting them in like ponytails and headbands, and so her hair can grow. During this time, her hair started getting a little length to it, so it was time for a weave. So after she got her first weave, Robin was there with her at the salon, and Robin said, "Oh my gosh, you look like a lion," when she had the braided extensions. And Whitney Houston laughed and said, "Hey, let's make the lion my logo for Nippy Ink." And that's how the idea of the lion being the logo for Nippy Ink. The process of her hair, her first hair extensions were back in the day, they didn't really have wefted hair, so they had bulk hair, so they didn't have that track rod that you could weave and sew. So they would take the bulk hair, whether it was human or synthetic, and they were micro mini. What now today is called invisible braids and micro mini braids, when they braided very tiny, like a strand of hair, and just braid it like for about a centimeter or two, and leave and pluck the rest out. Just let have regular hair, so it look like your hair, but you still can see at the root that it's braided in. Rick James, a lot of people, Lisa Bonet, a lot of people back in the day did this procedure. At the time, I think Ellen Navarre was working at the shop, and she was a big time fierce braider. She was known for her braiding. So I guess after Carol Porter established a great relationship with Whitney Houston, because she would travel with Whitney at first, then she brought along Ellen, and then Ellen started traveling with Whitney. And once Ellen was there, it was over. Whitney took her all over the world with her. So the beginning process for Whitney's weave were braided extensions. And as you see in the photos, you can see the braided extensions. How will I know that was braided extensions? That as time went by, people started becoming more crafty, the beauticians and hairstylists. So they would comb the hair or style it, braid it in a way that the hair can go over top of the braids. So Whitney Houston still had a braided extension weave in, but she would do it that the top of the hair, but she'll comb over and cut bangs, and so that's how she got her signature poodle look. Those are still braids in her hair, but the hair is coming over top of the braids with the hair being pulled in the front. So she wore that many of years, but as the type of hair Whitney Houston had, it was very soft, so micro minis could break her hair off, but at first it did not. Once she took her hair out, after her first world tour, The Greatest Love of All tour, Robin said her hair came down like to her shoulders. It was long. It grew really long. But her mother made her so self-conscious. Every time Whitney Houston would take her weave out, she would just say, "You look like a damn man. What you gonna do about your hair?" And just would nag her, so Whitney Houston would keep her weaves all the time. But I think as time went on, that braiding technique was not good for the type of hair Whitney Houston had, because it was so soft and silky. So as time went on, she started to like comb her real hair, like on the Wembley Arena tour, especially for the Nelson Mandela. I'm talking about the first concert she did for him in the 80s. She has her hair combed over top of the extensions, the braided extensions, so she had her real hair, and a lot of people loved the hairstyle she had. She had like a ponytail, and it looked really nice. And so she would kind of wear her hair over the braided extensions. So as time went on, the wefted hair started coming out. The tracks. So tracks started coming out, and she started to getting hair weaves. She started to get the hair weaved into her head. But after a while, I think Whitney did not like it. In an interview with Jane Magazine, Whitney states that she went from weaves to wigs because she was tired of them pulling on her hair. Now, at the 1986 Grammys Awards, Whitney Houston has a wig on, and her real hair is combed over top of the front part of the wig, because she had enough hair to blend into the wig. At this time, her hair started growing. She stated that the wig from that award show was the tightest wig. She said that wig was her brain. It was so tight on her head, but it looked so beautiful on her. And she had long hair. It looked very beautiful on her. Whitney Houston looked very nice with long hair. And she said that was the most tight wig in her entire career. She said just was so tight. She said she still remember it. And if you can look into the interview, if you can read the interview, you'll see she said that. So as time went on, like I Wanna Dance With Somebody, she had, oh my gosh, Whitney Houston had like 3 weaves into one. She just it was just big hair. They made her have big hair everywhere. I mean, her hair was just everywhere. She had like the braided weave, and then she had a fall on, and then she had other little extensions clipped in. It was crazy, but it was beautiful at that time. That's my favorite music video, I Wanna Dance With Somebody. It was beautiful. So as time went on, times changed. Like in the late 80s, her weaves start, toning down, starting to get a little shorter, more realer. And then I think she, after that, she kind of morely graduated to weaves and wigs more. And at this time, I think she really did graduate to weaves, because at this time, I'm Your Baby Tonight came out, and we're doing the promotional tours and things like that. Whitney Houston cut her real hair. In the back, is shaved, not shaved, but tapered. That's her real hair. And I think that is a weave or a wig on top of it. But whatever it is, it's not her hair on the top. So she had the short hair style, the short weave or wig styled. In the back of her, that's her real hair. So she wore that for years. And as time went on, that was her signature look. She would have her real hair in the back. And even during the Bodyguard days, that's how she was wearing her hair, like short in the back and a weave or wig on top. After, I want to say, during the Bodyguard, she started experimenting more with wigs and different types of hair lengths and different weaves. And I think she kind of really liked wigs more because her hair could get more protection underneath. And she was one of the first, not saying the first, because lace wigs been out for a long time. It wasn't access to the public. It was for more select, like acting or medical. They would call it medical wigs or acting wigs. Dorothy Dandridge had them back in the day, so that was out for a long time. So she had her very first lace wig on Run To You music video. As you can see, it's a lace wig and it's beautiful on her. She looks so good with long hair, so she experimented with long hair. I really wish I could find photos of that video shoot, like more, like we got a few out there floating around, but I want to see all that spreadsheet. She looks so gorgeous. And after the Bodyguard, she kind of started doing upstyles. So that's where the upstyles start coming about. Her hair started growing more longer, and she started wearing more upstyle French rolls, pinups, and sometimes I heard it was a wig, and sometimes I heard it was a weave. So Ellen LeVar did her thing. It still looked phenomenal on her. So once in late 94 and 95, Whitney Houston started to wear longer hair and longer curls, and I loved it. During this time in Whitney's life, she was really struggling hard. Allegedly, the drug overdose and, her being broken up with Bobby Brown, and motherhood. It just was a lot on her. So a lot of times we would see her, she would have face full of makeup on and the hair covering her face, so we really couldn't see that she really was going through. So as her hair started changing, as time started changing, her hair started changing. So like 96, Preacher's Wife, she was more into like the Remy hair, wet and wavy, more of a blonde tones. Her eyebrows was more blonde and golden tones. She was more of that. And after that, then that's when Whitney started trying to do blonde. And for the Heartbreak Hotel music video, it was beautiful, gorgeous. It was a look. Then she started to do the goth look, which a lot of people love. She kind of reminded me of how like Rihanna did with the umbrella. She just went like a black bob. And Whitney wore that for a year. She wore sometimes with a bang and sometimes without a bang. On tour, she had tons of bob wigs, the same, cut, but different stylists to it. But it was different bob wigs the whole entire My Love Is Your Love tour, which is very nice on her. Sometimes it kind of went back a little bit when she was, being very excited on tour and dancing and things. But for the most part, it was a beautiful, cut on her. It was a beautiful hairstyle. Also, My Love Is Your Love music video, she did the spiral curls, which was cute on her. Not my favorite, but it was cute on her. And then on I Learned From the Best, the big afro, which was really nice on Whitney. Told you Whitney Houston looked phenomenal with big styled hair. Long hair, big hair. She looked very phenomenal in that music video. And then Whitney Houston was addicted to the flip, the pixie flip. She loved the hairstyle at the Grammy Awards, where she won her last Grammy with the pink fur. She wore that flip out, and then she started to dye the flip. She started wearing it like golden auburn. For the Arista anniversary special, she looked phenomenal in the gold with the auburn hair. Oh, the flip, it was wonderful. So she held on to the flip hairstyle for a while. And then things started to get a little shaky. Her addiction started to get out of control, and she would just pick any wig. She really wasn't caring about her appearance. She was wearing old wigs with hats on top of them when she would go out. She wasn't looking kept anymore. And then she was fascinated with blonde hair. And anybody know when you have blonde hair brings out the worst of anybody if they're going through something, or it brings out all your flaws on your face, especially the wrong kind of blonde. So at this time in Whitney Houston's life, she is wearing blonde hair. Now at the time when she in her life, probably like 97, we're gonna go back. She did a concert in Brunei, 96, 97, I think it was 96, 97. And she had a human hair. It was like a Remy hair. Anybody know had Remy hair? Remy, not synthetic. Human hair is very hard to keep style. It's human hair, so if it's hot, it's gonna curl up to this natural pattern. And so Whitney Houston was a head sweater. She sweat profusely on her hair, around her head, her face, everywhere. So anybody know went to a Whitney Houston concert, you know that Whitney Houston don't allow air in the whole arena. So in Brunei it was very hot, and she didn't have air at the concert, the private concert, and the wig, it had some curls in it, but it just couldn't hold. And at the entire concert, her head is like drenched wet, like somebody just put a bottle of water in her head. And she kept that wig, and that's the wig, the same exact wig she started wearing back in the early 2000s and mid 2000s. And that's the same wig at the Michael Jackson concert, the Michael Jackson special. That wig, to this day, I don't know what was going through Ellen LeVar's mind when she was styling her hair for that show. I just don't understand how could she let her go on stage like that. I mean, the wig was horrible. The pictures show, I don't know what type of style she was trying to do, a flip, curl, but it didn't look. The moment Whitney stepped on the stage, the wig was still disheveled. It just was like somebody. It looked like Whitney Houston just woke up and said, "Just give me anything." It just put it on her head and just went out there on stage. Her hair was horrible. I don't know what was going on during this time. Allegedly, I think Ellen LeVar styled her hair for that show. Her hair was terrible. Then we get to the same wig, BET Awards. I don't know why Whitney Houston was fascinated with this wig. The first annual BET Awards, Whitney Houston had that wig, and she, got it styled. And it looks like a Yorkie. A Yorkie. It just she looked like a Yorkie. Just two ponytails coming up, trying to be curled, and it was just a mess. I didn't like it at all. She looked her gown was gorgeous, but she still looked disheveled. She was not right at all. And this is where you start seeing more and more. Every time you see her, she just looked more disheveled. And her hair was and Whitney Houston was known for her hair, like beautiful hairstyles and wigs and weaves it just started looking like a joke, like a Party City joke. So she went from that terrible wig, and she started to try to do longer hair, like what you're looking at music video. Ellen LeVar did that, and I don't understand she didn't style it right. But one of those days, that same long, wet and wavy Remy hair wig, which she looked good fine when she had, in one of those days when she had the brown coat on, it had kind of a bang, but the wig was just so sweated out, and the wig looked emaciated. It just looked so thin and frail. And it just made Whitney, it kind of covered up what she was going through, because, she wore the same long hair on the Diane Sawyer interview. And it just, I don't know. She just looked like, I don't know. Whitney hair, it was not up to par. It couldn't hold a curl. And anybody, I don't know how curls was kept falling, because Remy hair, your hair will fall. If you don't have the correct holding spray, that stuff will fall in seconds. So her hair kept being limp and falling. And I didn't like it. And then we have, she started back blonde, and on the cover of the album, Just Whitney, and I did not like that hair at all. I didn't like that wig. It looked like an old wig they just try to, restyle, and I didn't like the blonde at all on her. So as time went by, she tried her last long hair, like very long hairstyle, was on the Divas Las Vegas duets show, and she looked phenomenal. She did look phenomenal. I think she had did like a sober bed, and her hair was very golden, and it was long and curls and a bang, a swoop. She looked phenomenal during this show. And after this show, she went to Israel, and she had this wet and wavy blonde wig. It just looked terrible on her, and she got baptized with the wig on. It was just a terrible wig. After that, that's when the whole being Bobby Brown, and she just came out of rehab. Her rehab counselor is on a few episodes of being Bobby Brown, and she had this short, Remy pixie cut wig, and she was obsessed with it the whole season, and it just was not becoming of her. It was very short. It was kind of flipped. The style was off. But I'm not gonna lie, whoever that stylist was during that time, it wasn't Ellen. It was another lady. As you see her and Bobby Brown going to the Dior show, the lady really flipped it and made it look nice on her. She had a white pantsuit, and her hair looked good. And when they went out to dinner, the lady flipped it again for her, but she had the head scarf around her, the neck scarf, and it was going around her head, and she looked really good. She had glasses, and she looked very good that night. But afterwards, she just started to wear these flip wigs. I told you Whitney Houston loved that short flip for some reason. So she went to China and had a flip. That wig look, and Ellen was there with her. This footage. And I don't like it. Looked like a synthetic beauty supply store. It looked terrible, like with a few highlights in it. Then when she went to tour with Natalie Cole and Dionne Warwick, she had flips too. And it's like, oh my God, she looked horrible on that tour with Natalie Cole and Dionne. And she was trying to. Every time Whitney was getting clean, and she was going through like withdrawals, and you can tell she looked harder, and she just wasn't. You could tell like she was having a rough, hard time. So her hair didn't look good at all. So last time she started wearing blonde hair, it looked awful, horrible. Was the Being Bobby Brown Christmas special, and she went to the Olympics in Russia. She had that same blonde wig. I don't know, they was cutting on that wig. I don't know, it was her get high wig. It just looked horrible. And then that's when the fan caught her at the gas station with the same wig, cocked to the side, nappy blonde wig. I mean, she was wearing that wig all over Atlanta. It looks horrible. So she finally files for divorce, and she comes back. And at this time, at a Clive Davis event, she had a blonde wig, and it didn't look too bad on her. It was look because she was fresh. And then it was like a pre-party, and then at the actual party, oh, she had blonde wig, but it was fierce. She had it nice and curled and cropped, and she had this nice black gown with ruffles on it. She looked phenomenal, like $1 million. And then she started getting her hair more golden tone with golden curls. Oh my gosh, with beige golden furs. Oh, she looked phenomenal. So she started, testing the waters with the blondes and the golds, and then, she started to go overseas, and then she went to Morocco, and her hair was a little more long and straighter. At this time, she brought in Tiffany Dixon. Tiffany Dixon did a good job on her hair. I think the Morocco hair was the Morocco tour when she had the wig there. I think it was a little too long, but it still looked nice on her. But then Tiffany went old school with her, with Whitney Houston, known for that poodle curl hair, and she brought it back, but more cropped it a little more. It looked phenomenal. So Whitney hair it was darker color, darker browns and auburns. It was very nice. Then she did the Russia tour. Oh my gosh, in 2009. She looked phenomenal. She had like auburn red hair, and it was flipped again, but it looked phenomenal on her with the green fur. Phenomenal. Then she, promotes her album. Oprah, she got a nice lace front, giving you Diane curl, realness. So she was looking good there. Then she went back on tour, and her hair looked phenomenal, but it was, how Whitney wear curly, and it was, like I said, it was more cropped. But due to a lack of performance, the performances were not up to par. Her looks were, but her performance wasn't. Then she, went to work for Sparkle, and they bought. Oh my gosh, she went. They had styled her with a lace wigs, and they were nice auburn caramel through the whole movie, like a reddish. It was beautiful. Her hair color was so beautiful against her skin tone for the whole Sparkle movie. After that, then we come to the last week of her life at the Grammys, at the Grammy party. And she had the nice wig for the Kelly Price party. Very nice. Very nicely highlighted auburns and blondes and golds. And it was mixed up. Very nice. Very nice human hair wig. Looked phenomenal. And it was the wig allegedly that she died in. And once they did the art, that was her last wig. And it was a human hair wig because they said that she was all over the place at the hotel, in the swimming pool, and even at the Brandy and Monica interview, you see the same wig, but it's just wet. She had just got the pool. And once her body got to the autopsy, once it got to the coroner's office and they did an autopsy, the doctor in the autopsy report said the wig was on fully tight. They said that wig was on very tight. Like, they don't know how did she put that on her head. They said it was pinned on her hair so tight. It took a while for them to get that wig off. But they said once they took the wig off, Whitney Houston had a head full of wavy curly hair. They said she had a head full of hair. So after that, of course, we know the casket photo. If you have not seen the Whitney Houston casket photo, she kind of looked like she got the outfit on from Nelson Mandela '94 concert, and she had the purple, the purple turtleneck and a purple, in the casket like a blazer. So but it gave you that type of outfit. It looks like that, and her hair kind of like a brownish auburn, like it's a darker brown, and it's like a bang. She had like a bang, and her hair is pulled up like a beehive. It looked like a French roll. So it's kind of styled. I've seen her hairstyle like that before. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's like a pinup. It's a pinup hairstyle. And it kind of give you like a mod 60s tee. How they had it was like, I don't know, because I guess the funeral director, how they styled her hair, since she was laying in the casket. It didn't look bad or anything like that, but it just looked a little too neat, kind of wiggish. But I don't know if it was a wig or not. But she looked like she was sleeping. She didn't look horrible in her casket, like she was sleeping. So that was the last hairstyle that she ever shown to the public, was ever shown on the public, was her casket hairstyle. So I hope you enjoyed this Whitney Houston hair journey that I just did. In the comments below, please let me know what was your favorite Whitney Houston hairstyle and what was the worst Whitney Houston hairstyle you think she had. My favorite Whitney Houston hairstyle. My favorite Whitney Houston hairstyle is from The Bodyguard. The curls, the classic curls she had, like the when she went on a date with Kevin Costner. I love her hair like that. The worst Whitney Houston hairstyle for me would have to be the Michael Jackson concert. It was terrible. I don't know what was they thinking. It was the most horrible hairstyle I ever seen Whitney Houston ever wore in her life. But anyway, it's your girl Lola loves you. I'll be back with another video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, leave comments. I love when y'all thumbs up my video, and I love when y'all leave comments. I love it. I love to hear from y'all. But anyway, I'll be back. Bye.